The river had been calling Mabel for weeks. She heard it in her dreams, a whispering voice laced with the sound of rushing water, beckoning her to come closer. At first, she ignored it, thinking it was just a dream. But each time she walked past the cross river in Calabar, she felt an invisible force pulling at her soul, a strange warmth spreading through her chest. That evening, just as the sun melted into the horizon, painting the sky in fiery orange and deep purple, she gave in. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and river lilies as she walked barefoot along the shore. The water was calm, eerily still, as if waiting. Then she saw it, a giant tree, its roots buried deep into the riverbank, its ancient bark twisting into odd snake-like patterns. But what stopped Mabel in her tracks was the small wooden door carved into its trunk. It was no ordinary door. It shimmered under the fading sunlight, as if alive. Her heartbeat quickened. Who had put a door inside a tree? And why was it glowing? She reached out and pushed it open. The world around her shifted. The sound of the river faded, replaced by a deep humming. A rush of wind wrapped around her, warm yet chilling. Her feet landed on smooth, polished stone, and as she blinked, the world before her unfolded into something both terrifying and breathtaking. She was no longer in Calabar. Towering serpent pillars stretched toward a sky filled with swirling green mist. The air shimmered with gold dust, and the scent of jasmine and something ancient filled her lungs. Crystal chandeliers hung from invisible ceilings, their soft glow reflecting off the treasure that littered the ground, gold, pearls, emeralds, and rubies spilling over like an untouched kingdom of wealth. And then she saw them. Women, if they could still be called that. Their bodies were long and sinuous, half human, half serpent. Their emerald green eyes glowed like burning embers, their skin impossibly smooth and radiant. They slithered gracefully across the jeweled floors, their movements hypnotic, their beauty so intense it made Mabel dizzy. One of them stepped forward. She was taller than the rest, her presence commanding, her golden scales glistening under the soft glow of the chandeliers. A crown of black pearls sat atop her head, her piercing gaze locking onto Mabel like she could see straight into her soul. "You have entered Nagaloka," she said, her voice silky but heavy with power. "Why have you come?" Mabel swallowed hard. I don't know. I found a door in a tree and I stepped through. I don't even know where this is." The woman's lips curved into a knowing smile. "You are here because you seek wisdom." Mabel's breath hitched. She had never spoken those words aloud, but she had always felt it deep inside. A restlessness, a hunger to understand life, her purpose, her existence. "Yes," she admitted. "I've always questioned my purpose, why I am here, what I am meant to do." The Naga Queen's eyes darkened, as if she had been expecting this. She turned to a jeweled pedestal beside her, where a small crystal vial sat, filled with a glowing green liquid. She picked it up and held it before Mabel. "This is the answer you seek," she said. "A gift from the realm of the Nagas. This potion holds the power to heal. You will take it and you will use it to heal the sick, to cure ailments, to bring relief to those who suffer. This is your purpose." Mabel reached out hesitantly and took the vial. The moment her fingers touched it, a rush of energy surged through her veins, so powerful she almost gasped. She felt it. This was real. This was destiny. "But heed my warning," the Naga Queen continued, her eyes narrowing. "This gift is not to be sold. It is sacred. You must never charge for its use." Mabel nodded, her heart pounding. She didn't know how, but she knew this was what she had been searching for all her life. And then, in a blink, she was back at the riverbank. The tree was gone. The only proof that she had been to Nagaloka was the small vial in her palm. She started using the potion as instructed. A single drop mixed into oil could cure the gravest of illnesses. The blind regained their sight, the crippled walked, the dying returned to life. Word spread and people travelled from villages far and wide to seek her healing. At first, she did it freely, just as Mama Naga had commanded. But then something shifted. People started offering gifts, bags of rice, yams, gold. She refused at first, but the more she healed, the more they insisted. And then she thought, why shouldn't she take something in return? After all, she was changing lives. So she started accepting gifts. Then, slowly, she began to set prices. Small at first, but as her fame grew, so did her demands. Soon she was charging heavily for each healing. She moved from her small home to a grand house in the city. She wore the finest clothes, drove the most expensive cars. What was once a simple calling became a business empire. Then, the dream came. Mama Naga appeared in the darkness, her emerald eyes burning with fury. "You have broken our command," she hissed. "What was meant to be a gift you have turned into greed. Stop now, or face the consequences." Mabel woke up in a cold sweat, her heart racing. But she ignored the warning. She was too powerful now, too rich, there was no going back. Then, one evening, a stranger walked into her healing house. He was the most handsome man she had ever seen, with chiseled features and eyes as black as the night. But there was something unsettling about him. His skin was rough, scaly, almost reptilian. "I need healing," he said, his voice smooth like silk. Mabel smiled. "For a price?" The man nodded. "I will pay you 10 times whatever you ask if you can heal me." Excitement flared in her chest. This was her biggest deal yet. She took the oil mixed with the sacred potion and poured a drop into her palm. But the moment she touched his skin, something went horribly wrong. The man's body began to shift, his features melting, stretching, scales spreading like wildfire across his skin. His limbs twisted, elongating, his eyes turning to burning emeralds. He was no man, he was a serpent. A deafening hiss filled the room as the rest of the potion exploded in its vial, evaporating into nothing. The power was gone. Mabel screamed as the massive snake slithered toward the door, turning back one last time, its voice echoing in her mind. "Greed has consumed you. The gift is no longer yours." And then it was gone. Mabel fell to her knees, her hands trembling. She tried to heal someone the next day, but nothing happened. The power had left her. She lost everything. Her riches faded, her home crumbled. No one came to her anymore. And as she sat alone in the ruins of what she had built, she finally understood Mama Naga's words. Some gifts are not meant to be sold, and greed always comes with a price.
We'd like to hear from you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories. We post once a week. See you next time.